Well, today we're back in David Thompson Country, and we came late in the season here in October. There's already had the first snowfall of the year, but we came to check out the Cline River. The Cline River is a gorgeous little area here on the northwest side of Abraham Lake. And there's like this gorgeous valley that leads all the way into Pinto Lake, which is pretty far in the valley. We're not gonna go all the way down to the end of that today, but we came to check out some of the key areas and the main campground, which is kind of in the middle. So we're gonna be traveling around 6 to 8 kilometers, showing you guys everything to see at the main camping area. And this will give you an idea of what to expect when you come here. And I think that I might have to come here multiple times to be able to make a good video showcasing all of the places you can come and check out here. There's actually 2 spots that you can stop. There's like a little parking lot on one side of the bridge, and then there's one on the other side of the bridge. And we're on the most western part, and there's actually some maps and some information here to check out. And there's a trailhead that starts at the far back over there. I have my backpack. We'll be staying here for the night, so I'll have lots of time to get some cool views and cool footage for you guys to watch. So let's go for a hike, guys. Attacked by the tree. So about 4.5 kilometers in, the trail is pretty much all in the forest. And there's a couple little spots where there's like these little bridges with these little creeks. But I just stopped to show you guys what this looks like because it's super cool. Get this gorgeous little creek that veers in through this canyon side here. Yeah, gorgeous little spot to refill your water, take a little bit of a break, eat a sandwich. We're almost to the little camp, which is right over there. So we're gonna go check that out and show you guys what that looks like. But I wanted to show you guys this because it's super cool. Let's keep on hiking, guys. backside of this mountain here, and you get this little lookout, and then you don't have to veer very far off this trail, and there's actually a little campground here. A lot of people have stayed in here because there's not a whole lot of deadwood on the ground in this little area. This is a little spot. I know there's a lot of snow and everything, so it's really hard to see what's going on, but yeah, there's like a little, they brought some rocks here to have a fire, and you can tell that they kind of made a bench, and they kind of made like little benches on the other side, and this whole little area is kind of open, so you could easily set up a tent or a hammock anywhere is kind of in here. This is definitely a cool little spot for sure. So this is the first little real campsite. You can camp here if you want, or you can go down further where the creek is and camp there as well, because the only downfall between camping here is if you want water, you have to go all the way down to the creek, which is not that big of a deal. It's just that there's probably 30-ish meters, 40-ish meters elevation loss, and it's quite steep, so you'd be trucking up and down to get water. Let's head back on the trail and see if we can find more campsites here and get to the actual Cline River. End of the main trail, it leads you right to this one spot here, and there's obviously a camping spot right here. It's hard to tell with some of the snow, but there's like a couple of fire pits, and this area is quite flat, and everything's kind of been even the main brush. You can tell that a lot of people will come and camp here. When you get here, you're going to want to go and check out the river, which you can, because I was camped way at the far back over there. You can keep going along that riverside, and you can camp all along here. You can camp in this main spot here. Then there's more camping spots way at the far back. Let's go check that out. This is the, I think this would be the main campground. It's a way bigger area at the far back, and there's two little levels and plateaus here. You do have a little bit of a ridge at the far back, but you can't really see the river. You can hear it pretty clear, but this is definitely more sheltered from the wind for sure. Definitely not a super busy place, and only seen one other human out on the trail. Also, the time of year is probably a big factor. This is used by not just hikers. You'll have a lot of people that are hunting, and then some people that are just fishermen. And so there's a lot of different people that are using these for various reasons, which is quite interesting to have conversations with people you meet randomly in the middle of the mountains. But you can tell that this one here has been used kind of recently. And even walking around, I've seen there's a few spots where it was used kind of recently. But this is the main camp here. This is what you can expect if you come to the Cline River. There's definitely a whole lot of flat spots all over. This time of year, you may have to remove a bit of snow. It's not necessarily required, depending on the gear. You can see the ground where somebody camped here, probably yesterday or the day before. And there's all these tiny little paths that lead out. There's one path that leads out right over here, back to the creek if you want to get some water. Right from the main campground, there's a little tiny trail. You can tell that there's some runoff here because this section here, this is all kind of muskeggy. You'll be able to go around this, but basically I just came here to show you guys the 4 bear bins are kind of at the back there. This main campground here is kind of like the starting point. There's a lot of places you can go from here as a start. Right from this campground, the trail veers off and goes to Landslide Lake. And then from there at Landslide Lake, there's a tiny little lake on the side that's kind of hidden. You can camp there. There's multiple campsites all along the way. There's campsites all the way at Landslide Lake. Then the path veers off before Landslide Lake and goes to Lake of the Falls. And there's a campground all the way in there. You can keep following the Cline River, and it keeps going. It goes all the way down to Pinto Lake, basically at the end. I think from here to Pinto Lake, there's a couple campsites along the way that you can camp. And there's actually one set of waterfalls that I've never even seen yet because it's that deep in. But I think to go all the way to Pinto Lake, you can camp there as well. And I think it's, like I said, a good 30 kilometers, so it's definitely a multi-day hiking expedition. That being said, if you really just want to go to Pinto Lake, I think you can come from the other side, which is from Banff National Park, and come in. This in general was a fairly easy hike in. I've seen a lot of different people hiking, a lot of people coming in here with horses as well. I think they're hunting sheep this time of year in October. So I decided not to camp here, and I'd camp further back, so I'm closer to the river. So I wanted to have a view of the river instead. All right, so I'm gonna go show you guys where I went to camp for the night. this little spot where there's all these crazy little hoodoos at the back there. You can see that at the back. They're not true hoodoos, but that's kind of how hoodoos get formed, with erosion like that. And eventually there's chunks that will go around, and you'll have these high spikes here. All along the river where it cuts through, there's all of these spots where the bank has been cut, and then erosion is creating these crazy little, they call them half hoodoos. And there's probably a name for them, I just don't know what it is. I decided to camp close to the river just because it's a little bit easier, and I kind of like the sound of the water. Kind of gives some good background noise when you're sleeping. It is unfortunate that I got here late in the year and there's a lot of snow. That gave me a lot of grief. Doing just random stuff. Water filtration systems, all these little things get frozen in cold temps, but start a little fire, get stuff warmed up, makes it easier that way. This is the Cline River, right in the heart of David Thompson Country. And I'm Eric Tremblay, and these are my adventures.